You went to fight for your son, and you won. How does that feel?
It feels fantastic. I hoped for all of this, but to be honest with you, I wasn't sure if it was ever going to happen. And, you know, like I've told you before, I'm so grateful. I'm grateful to the people that reached out to us. I'm grateful to the people that stood behind us. I'm grateful to the people that said that they would do whatever it took to help my son and the other disabled people. It's not just about him, it's about a lot of people that were put out of a job.
Nick seemed like someone who really enjoyed his job when we spoke just yesterday. What did you think when you heard Sharon Durbin say that the tasks he completes are not really a job?
I don't even know how to really answer that. I was appalled. I can't believe that someone actually would say that. She mentioned that she had a disabled brother herself. I don't know how you could talk that way about somebody when my son, every day they would tell him, you know, what a great worker he was. And he is. I've seen it myself. He's very high functioning, as you could see, and he did an awesome job. He worked hard and he was proud of his work. And then to hear somebody say something like that was so degrading.
She still runs the local hub of retail stores. She's still in charge as of today. When Nick goes back to work, how is he going to feel knowing that his boss said those things and saw him in that light?
He actually told me that he's almost afraid of retaliation, which worries me because before he was so happy. He would get up for work and be waiting for the bus 15 minutes before it got there. I mean, literally. He was so excited every day to get up. And now he's telling me that he's almost afraid to go back because he's afraid of what might happen because of the story.
Did you see the apology letter from Goodwill?
I did.
What did you make of it?
I thought it was a little too little, a little too late. From the comments that she made, especially on your program, when I heard that, everybody that I know that heard that, we were just appalled. How can you be a CEO over a company that stands for people with disabilities and then turn around and say something so horrendous and degrading? It was so degrading. I mean, those people work so hard and they're so proud of what they do. Even if they don't do, I mean, how many people do the best every single day? I mean, we all make mistakes. We're humans. So to say that they had to go back and fix their mistakes all the time, I don't understand.
Now the board is having to go back and fix the mistakes of its executive director, Sharon Durbin, and in that letter they said, we have to refocus our mission, I'm paraphrasing here, but to make sure that we are truly serving the people that we claim to serve in our mission statement. Is she still qualified to lead that nonprofit for that mission, given what she's said about your son and his coworkers?
In my opinion, no. I think she destroyed that chance when she put the letter out and made it sound like all of Goodwill in Illinois was getting rid of their people because of the minimum wage when Land of Lincoln was the only one. I mean, right there, that was a red flag when I found that out. And then when I found out that they gave them money for the budget to cover that, and then it still didn't do it, I think all this heat that she got put on her is why she apologized. Maybe the board told her she had to, I don't know, but I don't think she's sincere about it.
The board still hasn't yet answered questions about a number of things, but I want to ask you, have you or do you know if any other employees or family members there have filed complaints with the Office of the Illinois Attorney General?
I do not know. I have considered it. I'm going to look into it. I know that I went to Human Rights. I went to the Department of Labor. I do plan on following through because I still believe that there's things that need to be looked into. Senator Manar, I'm glad that he has not dropped the ball on this. I'm glad that he's going to continue to look into it.
Do you feel that your son was targeted for his disabilities specifically? Was this a case of discrimination?
Yes, not just my son, all of the disabled people. Yes, I think it was definitely discrimination. I practically think it screams discrimination. I mean, her own words, when you look at them back, pretty much say that.
When you walked into my office last week and dropped off a letter that you had printed out and scribbled handwriting on the back and walked away, I don't even know if anybody was in here when you did that. Did you ever dream that a candidate running for president and thousands of people across our state and across our country and lawmakers in every corner of our state would rush to your son's side? Did you ever see it playing out this way?
No, not at all. I'm so thankful and blessed that it did. I'm thankful every day. I thank God for the friends that we have and the connections, and for people like you. I express that to you. I feel like they were kind of like my son's guardian angel, and the other disabled people that don't have anyone to talk for them. I feel like that everyone that has stepped in and done something has just been amazing. But no, I did not expect that. I did not expect anyone to get back with me, to be honest with you.
Goodwill is facing a lot of threats of boycotts and donors who are saying they will no longer give. But I wonder if that's a complicated thing for you, because Nick really likes his job and he wants to have a place to go to work. What would you say to those people who are calling for people to stop bringing their donations or to stop shopping at Goodwill? What would you tell them?
Well, now that I know that it wasn't all of Goodwill, I had planned on probably shopping at Goodwill in other states. I was definitely not going to in Illinois. And then I found out it was just the land of Lincoln. So I was planning on boycotting that. Now that I found out they have their jobs, I mean, honestly, I shop at Goodwill all the time. My dress that I'm wearing now came from Goodwill. If any of my friends that know me know that almost all of my clothes come from Goodwill. I support it wholeheartedly, and I think it's a great mission if it's used properly. But if I find out that all the money is going to the CEO and family members, well, then that's just wrong. So no, I do believe it's great. I mean, all my friends are saying, you know, I love Goodwill. I love shopping there. I'm not going to because of what happened, but if we can get this cleared up and the board can set some guidelines, I would love to go back into Goodwill.
What did you think when you saw the salary, the size of the paycheck? You know the size of the paycheck that your son has. He makes $8.25 an hour. And then you saw the size of the paycheck that Sharon Durbin's son makes to run those retail shops. What did you think to yourself when you saw that number?
Again, I was astonished. I had no idea. I had no idea that a not-for-profit would pay that high of a salary. I mean, she's been there 10 years, I believe. My son's been there 6, and she's received all of the raises that she has. And I don't know what her son started at or how long he's been there, but to see that kind of money when they can't afford to pay, that was one of the first things I said. I said, why can't they take a little bit of a pay cut and cover these expenses? Isn't that what someone that is for non-for-profit that really cares about the disabled people, which is what she's trying to say, would do?
I know Nick couldn't make it here with us today. I would have liked to have seen him again.
Thank you.
How's he feeling? I'm sure you've talked to him since this news has. Have you talked to him? And
No, I have not.
Does he know yet?
I'm pretty sure he probably does, because my family's been following it very closely, and my sister's been reposting everything, and so she was one of the first people to congratulate me on his job. So I plan on talking to him. I rushed over here right after work, so it's been a busy day, but I know he's going to have a little bit mixed emotions. Like I said, he's thrilled. I mean, when you asked him, what is your dream job? He told you, my job at Goodwill, remember? And so I know that he's thrilled. But I know that he's going to be a little apprehensive too, to see if it's going to go back to the way it was, and that he's going to be treated fairly when he gets there. I think he's kind of worried about that.
We also saw Senator Bernie Sanders say that he wants to see workers with disabilities get a full living wage, and that includes 27 of the other 50 people there that are being paid the sub-minimum wage. There is a political fight there. What do you think about that issue now being brought to the forefront, that this story may have elevated that discussion for so many other people who may be blind or deaf and who are paid right now below the minimum wage?
Again, I think the time right now is kind of ripe for that with everything that's going on. So maybe it just needed to happen and be brought out. But I think everyone should be paid. It's discrimination, whether it's your race, your sexual orientation, or if you're disabled. If you do the job, you should get paid the pay. So I think it's a great discussion. I mean, all of these people were willing to work for what they were making because they enjoyed going to work every day. So they didn't even have a problem with it at that point. But, then the outcry of people saying, wow, these people have worked all this time and have never gotten an increase, never seen, he'd get a card once a year from Sharon Durbin saying, congratulations, you've made it 5 years, you've made it 6 years. But he didn't have anything to go along with that, like, hey, here's the raise. So I think that's going to be on people's minds now, and they're going to pay closer attention to it. So I think it's great. I think you should be paid for the kind of work you do.
One thing I've learned in observing this story unfold is don't bet against a mom coming to defend her son. Congratulations again.
Thank you. I appreciate that.